My beloved child, pause for a moment and let your heart become still, for I am calling out to you with a gentle whisper, inviting you into the safety of my embrace and the richness of my unwavering love. I know the questions that swirl in your mind, the uncertainties that weigh you down, and the hopes you yearn to see fulfilled, and I want to assure you right now that you are never alone, not even for a single breath. I am right beside you, upholding you when you tremble, comforting you when tears blur your vision, and lighting a path for your feet so that you do not stumble in the dark. Do not let fear convince you that all is lost, for I am always near, and my gentle voice will guide you toward the peace you crave. Take this promise to heart, for in my presence lies a hope stronger than any storm, and a love that banishes every shadow that dares to darken your spirit. Listen, my dear one, for in the silence of your soul, I am speaking words of life, beckoning you to trust the tender hush of my spirit, which carries the promise that all things can be made new. You do not have to wonder whether I see you, for I tell you truthfully, my eyes have been upon you from the moment I fashioned you in the secret place, long before you took your first breath. I have watched over you through joys and sorrows, through triumphs and stumbles, and I will continue to hold you near, preserving your precious heart with a love that never falters. Let me breathe comfort into the depths of your anxieties, reminding you that I have charted a course for your life that no adversity can derail, no obstacle can destroy. Place your trust in my gentle leading, and you will discover that nothing can separate you from my abiding care. Allow the warmth of my nearness to draw you out of discouragement, for I take pleasure in your heart's longing for me, and it delights me when you choose to rest, enveloped in my infinite love. I am the one who charts your path, the shepherd who guides you with a gentle crook, ensuring you never stray too far from the green pastures of peace. Look to me when storms rise, and do not let your heart faint, for as surely as the sun rises each day, so my commitment to you stands firm through every season, every trial. You need not doubt whether my promises apply to you. I assure you they do, for you are my treasured creation, and I will not let you fall prey to hopelessness. Trust my gentle whisper, and you will find rest for your soul, even in the midst of chaos. Remember, my beloved, that I authored the cosmos with a mere word, and yet I still stoop low to hear the faintest cry of your heart. You are not a face lost in the crowd, or a voice drowned by the chorus of countless others. I recognize every subtle change in your emotions, every sigh that escapes your lips, and every quiet prayer you whisper in your lonely moments. When you think no one else notices your fatigue, I am there, ready to uplift you with grace that can outlast every burden you face. There is nothing hidden from my sight, nothing too small or too large for me to redeem. Rise each day reminded of the truth that my presence is your shield, and my spirit is your faithful companion. Know that you are precious in my sight, a rare jewel set apart for my divine purposes. You carry a radiance within your spirit that reflects my goodness, and I rejoice each time you walk closer to me, trusting in my grace. Though you may feel broken or flawed, unable to measure up to the standards you or others have set, I see within you a beauty that surpasses human definition, a spark of eternal worth that cannot be tarnished. Recognize that your identity is rooted in me, not in the judgments of a world that does not fully comprehend the depth of my love. So stand tall in the knowledge that I delight in your company. I treasure your existence, and I have declared you worthy through the price I paid on your behalf. Never forget that you are my beloved creation, formed by my very hands with intention and care, bearing an imprint of my heart in your soul. I know that sometimes the world's noise can overshadow my gentle voice, casting doubt on your value or overshadowing your sense of belonging. but I am here to remind you that nothing and no one can diminish the significance I have placed upon you. Even if people disregard you or your achievements seem small in your own eyes, my gaze upon you is one of deep affection, unwavering commitment, and infinite compassion. You are cherished beyond measure, and I invite you to see yourself through the lens of my love, for that is the truest perspective. My child, you are not random or accidental. You are an integral part of a divine tapestry I am weaving through the ages. The gifts, personality, and spark of life that reside in you are all by design, with an eternal significance that might not always be obvious to human sight. I encourage you to celebrate your strengths, for they reveal part of my image in you, and to surrender your weaknesses to me. For in your frailty, my power finds perfect expression. Although the world may chase after fleeting glamours, I find joy in the gentle sincerity of your heart, in your honest prayers, and in your willingness to be molded by my hands. Be confident in the truth that I have assigned eternal worth to you, and not a single aspect of who you are escapes my devoted admiration. You might ask, in your quiet moments, whether I truly see all your struggles, those unspoken pains you carry behind your smiles. My dear one, I see every tear that falls in secret, every frustration that burns within you, and every disappointment that weighs upon your spirit. There is no hidden corner of your life where my light does not shine, and no heartbreak too insignificant for me to notice. I stand ready to mend the cracks in your heart, like a potter who patiently restores a vessel once broken. At times you may feel you are walking through a desert, but even there, my streams of grace can burst forth, bringing renewal and hope. Surrender your fears into my capable hands, for I have the power and the desire to redeem every sorrow you endure. I am well acquainted with the battles you face, aware of the uphill climbs and the moments of overwhelming pressure that threaten to steal your peace. When trials come in like a flood, it is tempting to think I have forgotten you, yet I am always working behind the scenes, orchestrating solutions that are often unseen at first. Do not let doubt drown out my gentle whisper. Instead, listen for my voice amid the cacophony of fear, for I will speak words of reassurance, guiding you step by step out of the valley of despair. My timing may differ from your expectations, but trust that it is perfect, neither too late nor too early, and aimed at shaping your heart in ways you cannot yet perceive. I know how hopeless it can seem when day after day passes without any visible sign of progress, how weary you feel when you have prayed with tears, yet no immediate relief appears. But I urge you, my beloved, do not give up in the space where miracles are still forming. That moment when you feel stretched beyond your limit is precisely where I pour out extra strength, giving you perseverance to endure, shaping your character into a reflection of my own steadfast nature. Each obstacle, each heartbreak, is an invitation to draw nearer to me, to seek solace in the arms of the one who promises never to forsake you. Hold on to the truth that I, who began a good work in you, will bring it to completion at the appointed time. Be assured that I am your shield, standing between you and all that strives to harm your spirit, your mind, or your hope. Think of a fortress with unbreakable walls, standing tall against any force of darkness, resolute and unwavering. That is how I surround you, a shelter in the fiercest storm, a bastion of peace even when the wind howls and the waves threaten to overwhelm. When dangers loom, call out to me, trusting that my presence is your refuge and my word is your strong defense. I do not promise a life devoid of trials, for even my dearest children have faced tribulation. Yet I assure you that no storm will dismantle the foundation I have laid in you when you anchor yourself in my faithfulness. I see the exhaustion in your eyes when you have poured out every ounce of effort, only to face setbacks or misunderstandings from those around you. So many times, you have shouldered more than you thought you could bear, and perhaps you have questioned whether you are truly capable of carrying on. Rest in me, for I am your refuge. In my arms you can lay down every burden, every restless thought, every twinge of guilt or doubt that gnaws at the edges of your joy. Let me be the gentle breeze that cools your weariness, a soothing balm for every wound that life inflicts. Know that my love is not passive. It actively works to support and shield you from the harshness that tries to break you. When the shadows of loneliness close in and you feel as though you stand in an empty room, talking to walls that do not respond, remember that I am intimately aware of your need for companionship. I have seen the longing in your heart for understanding, for someone to share your burdens and rejoice in your victories. Even if those around you fail to recognize or celebrate your essence, I, your Creator, always take notice. I am right there with you, listening to every silent plea, responding in ways that may surprise you. Do not fear your solitude. Instead, invite my spirit to be your constant companion, discovering that in me you lack nothing. Think not that I remain aloof when you are faced with dilemmas too tangled for you to unravel. In my immense wisdom, I can straighten the most convoluted knots, and I take pleasure in guiding you to solutions that far exceed your expectations. Just as a torch throws light into the blackest cave, so my direction can illuminate your mind when confusion tries to cloud your decisions. You have only to be still and whisper my name, opening your heart to the subtle promptings I place within you. Know that my whisper never seeks to condemn, but to free you from the chains of uncertainty, leading you toward clarity, purpose, and a deeper faith in my goodness. Call upon me, and do so with the boldness of a child who knows they are loved, for I delight in hearing your voice. The simplest prayer that springs from your soul is enough to stir my compassion and bring forth my divine help. There is no special formula required for my ear to turn in your direction. Just speak, or even let your heart cry out in silence, and I will respond. Do not consider any worry too small or any dream too grand. I encourage you to lay each one before me, confident in my steadfast care. I have known your needs before you even uttered them, and it pleases me when you trust me enough to ask. Ask, and you shall receive in ways that will enrich your life and glorify my name. Oftentimes you hesitate to seek my aid, thinking perhaps I am too busy or that you must first reach a certain level of worthiness. Dismiss that fallacy, dear one, for my grace and my kindness are inexhaustible, poured out upon all who reach for me with sincerity. Whether you stand at the peak of your strength or at the bottom of despair, my heart is inclined toward you. Prayer is not about showcasing perfection, but about surrendering your imperfection to my loving hands. So come as you are, battered, bruised, rejoicing, or weary, and find that I welcome you with arms outstretched, ready to pour hope into the most desolate corners of your life. When you ask, be prepared for answers that might alter your plans or nudge you outside your comfort zone. My wisdom transcends your immediate perspective, and sometimes my solutions arrive in unexpected forms. There may be open doors you thought impossible to enter, or people crossing your path who carry the blessings you prayed for, or even a rearrangement of your own heart's desires. Trust in my perfect orchestration, and do not be dismayed if my timing feels slow to your eyes. Like a farmer waits for the seed to sprout beneath the soil, you too must trust that my answers often take root out of sight, blossoming in due season. Embrace the privilege of communion with me, for prayer is not merely asking for things, it is the meeting of two hearts, yours and mine, where you align your will with my higher purposes. In that sacred space, you will discover unshakable peace and a sense of belonging that surpasses any earthly security. As you learn to recognize my gentle whisper, you will find yourself becoming more patient, more forgiving, more attuned to the wonder that lies in each breath you take. Prayer becomes the channel through which I impart wisdom, guiding you in everyday tasks, from mundane decisions to life-altering choices, and reminding you that you are cherished beyond measure. There is immense power in your trust, dear one. When you cast your worries upon me, you unburden your soul and open the floodgates for miracles to abound. Perhaps you have been taught to rely on your own strengths, but I invite you to rely on mine, for my power never fails. This does not mean you remain idle. Rather, you do your part while harboring a deep conviction that I am working alongside you. Together, we form a partnership of grace, weaving your actions and my divine intervention into a tapestry that will testify of my goodness. Know that I can accomplish far more than you can envision, turning even your smallest step of faith into a story of redemption. When circumstances tempt you to freeze in fear, remember my words. Do not be afraid, for I am with you, and I will not abandon you to despair. Instead, come to me, for I am your stronghold when troubles gather, and I am your defender against the assaults of discouragement. Resist the notion that you are powerless. With me by your side, you have the authority to speak hope into your own situation and to declare that victory is certain, though the exact form it takes may surprise you. Courage does not mean the absence of fear, but the refusal to let fear dictate your actions, trusting instead in the greater power of my presence. Always bear in mind that I have prepared a future saturated with blessings, a landscape of promise where you will witness the unfolding of plans designed with your good in mind. Just as seeds lie dormant in the cold ground before bursting forth in the warmth of spring, so your faith may pass through silent seasons, only to blossom spectacularly when the time is right. Do not doubt that I hold you firmly in my grip, leading you toward fresh beginnings, new friendships, and unexpected breakthroughs that will reveal the depth of my favor. Yes, trials will still arise, but they need not hinder you from stepping bravely into the tomorrow I have lovingly fashioned. So stand tall, my beloved, and look beyond the present troubles, for every challenge is an invitation to anchor yourself more deeply in my constancy. You are not defined by your circumstances, but by my everlasting love, which holds you through victories and setbacks alike. When the waters around you seem too deep, lift your eyes to me, recalling that I have walked on turbulent seas, stilling their rage with a mere word. Nothing is outside my capacity to redeem, nothing beyond my ability to restore. All I ask is that you trust my gentle whisper, for in that quiet prompting lies the key to finding your way amid every chaos. I encourage you to envision a horizon bright with possibility, a dawn of hope illuminating your path with divine promise. Picture the captivity of discouragement and anxiety giving way to a freedom drenched in light, where every breath you take is soaked in gratitude for my endless mercy. This is not a fanciful dream. It is the reality I yearn to unveil in your life as you cling to my promises. Hold tight to my words, for they are the seeds from which your future will grow. Words of life, prosperity, grace, and deliverance. By meditating on them and letting them sink deep into your heart, you set the stage for miracles, for testimonies of transformation only I can design. Press forward, my child, with your heart set on the joys that await you. Do not be deterred by the negativity of the present hour or the criticism that tries to demean you. Embrace instead the truth that my favor rests upon you like a gentle dew, refreshing your spirit and calling forth the best in you. You may falter at times, for no human journey is without stumbling, yet I am ready to catch you the moment you lose your footing, pulling you ever closer to my side. Celebrate even your smallest steps toward victory, for each is significant in my eyes, each part of a greater story I am weaving in your life. I also urge you not to walk this path alone. I have set brothers and sisters around you, fellow travelers, whose stories may intersect with yours for mutual encouragement and shared wisdom. Seek out that fellowship, allowing humility and compassion to guide your interactions, and be ready to offer the same love you yearn to receive. By loving one another as I have loved you, you create an atmosphere where faith can thrive, hope can flourish, and hearts can be healed. My gentle whisper often resonates louder in community, where my spirit speaks through multiple lives, reinforcing my unchanging truth. Remember always that my love is steadfast, my commitment unbreakable, and my will is for your ultimate good. Though the road ahead might hold twists and turns you cannot predict, rest assured that you do not face them unprepared. I equip you daily with fresh mercies, new insights, and a boldness that springs from the knowledge that you belong to me. Whenever the future seems cloudy, recall that my perspective spans eternity, seeing the end from the beginning, weaving your present challenges into a glorious outcome. Cling to me. Let my gentle whisper be your compass, and watch how I lead you onto paths of flourishing and abundant grace. Now, as I draw your heart nearer, my dear one, receive once again the reminder that my love for you will never fade or falter. No mistake, no setback, no doubt can ever diminish my affection or my determination to walk with you through every moment. I have pledged myself to you with a covenant that cannot be broken, sealed by my own sacrifice and fueled by a passion to see you grow into the fullness of the purpose I have placed within you. Let this truth sink into your soul. I delight in you, I treasure you, and I will never let you slip from my embrace. With this unwavering love, I bless you and all that is dear to your heart, declaring my peace over your home, your work, your relationships, and your aspirations. May my favor rest upon you like rays of warm sunlight, dispelling gloom and igniting fresh inspiration in your mind and spirit. I speak life into every dream you carry, every seed of potential waiting to sprout, and every longing you have entrusted to my care. Step forward with confidence, knowing my blessing is the wind at your back, gently propelling you toward the radiant horizon of my promises. Hold tightly to faith, my beloved, for the best chapters of your story are still unfolding under my guiding hand. Even when you cannot sense my movement, know that I am at work, stirring hearts, shaping circumstances, and preparing a table of blessings for you in due season. Whenever despair tries to creep in, remember to press your ear to the quiet spaces of your heart, listening for my gentle whisper that always carries hope, strength, and clarity. Journey on with expectation, for I am your God who provides, who redeems, who restores, and who loves beyond measure. I see you standing there with your heart heavy, wondering if I truly notice your quiet cries and the hopes you scarcely dare to name. And I assure you that I am always aware of the thoughts you keep hidden in the deepest places of your soul. Even the Psalms speak of how I know you completely, from the shape of your daydreams to the sighs you release in the silence of the night. When you doubt your worth, remember that I formed you with care, sculpting every facet of your being, as Genesis describes my creation of life itself. There is beauty in every breath you take, and there is purpose in every step you tread. For I wove you into the grand tapestry of existence with a love that stands unbreakable. Allow this truth to cradle your heart when you feel unworthy, for I declare that you are more precious than you can comprehend. So do not hide from me in your moments of uncertainty. Instead, draw near, trusting that I do not judge you by your stumbles, but rather lift you toward a higher place of mercy. My gentle whisper is always present, ready to comfort and restore your weary spirit, reminding you that even in darkness, my light never fails. You are never alone. I am with you forever. I realize that you face struggles both seen and unseen, some too overwhelming to put into words, and I want you to know that I see every tear you shed in the secrecy of your own thoughts. You may believe you have to be strong at all times, But I urge you to let me carry the weight that burdens you. Even in Exodus, I revealed my power to deliver my people from impossible circumstances, and that same mighty hand is at work in your life when you call on me. Do not think your situation is too small for my attention or too complicated for my intervention, for my grace is sufficient to cover all your needs. Yes, storms may roar around you, but I invite you to imagine my hand stretched out like a shield, blocking the arrows of fear and despair that try to pierce your heart. I know what you fear may come, and I am committed to guiding you safely through every valley. Stand firm in faith, for my love never leaves you. When the noise of the world becomes deafening and the demands on your soul threaten to tear you apart, listen for my voice in the stillness, for that is where I speak the loudest. Remember how I spoke to Elijah not through the earthquake or the fire, but through a gentle whisper that carried all the authority and compassion of heaven. So do not wait for a thunderous sign or a grand display. Instead, quiet your heart and let my comforting presence settle your racing thoughts. Even in the Gospel of John, I promised my disciples that the Holy Spirit would guide them into all truth, and that Spirit is within you, leading you step by step. Surrender your confusion to me and watch as I bring clarity out of chaos, turning what once overwhelmed you into an opportunity for deeper faith. You do not stand on shaky ground, you stand on my eternal word, which holds strong as a rock under every trial. I bless you. Walk forward in peace. There are moments when you wonder if your unique gifts and dreams truly matter, and I assure you that you are a precious gem in my eyes. In my plan, there is no one exactly like you, no one who can reflect my glory in the same distinct way. Your individuality is not a mistake, but a reflection of my vast creativity. Just as the diverse stars I spoke into existence each shine with a particular brilliance. You might feel overshadowed by others who appear more confident or successful, yet I remind you that your worth does not hinge on human applause. Let me fill the longing in your heart for approval, for my unwavering acceptance is the only standard you truly need. Have faith that I have already positioned you for greatness in ways that often transcend earthly definitions. As you surrender your ambitions to me, I will breathe life into them, revealing how each step of obedience can set off ripples of blessing you never anticipated. I watch over you in every breath you take. Sometimes, you carry regrets from your past like a heavy chain, letting old mistakes or missed opportunities define your sense of self. Hear me now. I am the God who restores. In the book of Joel, I promise to restore the years the locusts have eaten, and I can do the same for you, reworking your sorrows into a tapestry of renewed purpose. Stop punishing yourself for what has been lost, and start trusting in my transformative power to bring beauty out of ashes. I do not define you by your history. Rather, I define you by my love, which washes clean every stain and breathes fresh hope into every wounded corner of your soul. Step by step, I will heal the places you thought irreparably broken, weaving my grace into the fabric of your heart so intricately that your pain becomes a platform for my glory. So do not worry, for I am opening a new door for you. I hear your anxious prayers in the night, those moments when you question if relief will ever arrive. You are not alone in this wrestling, for I have stood with countless children through the ages who also cried out from the depths of their struggles. Recall the psalmist who lamented, "How long, O Lord, yet always return to praising my steadfast love." Even Jesus in the Gospels experienced anguish in the garden, and I was present, sending angels to strengthen him. Take heart, for I do the same for you. I am the one who sends comfort through a timely word, a friend's understanding ear, or the hush of dawn that signals a fresh start. Lift your weary eyes to my face, trusting that I will never allow you to sink beyond my reach. The mountain may be tall, but with every step you climb, you prove that fear is a liar, and that my strength is made perfect in your weakness. I watch over you in every breath you take. You may worry that your faith is too small, that somehow you need to muster a grand display of belief to earn my favor. Yet I remind you of the passage in Matthew. If you have faith even the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. Do not underestimate the power of the tiniest seed planted in fertile ground. Place that seed in my hands and watch as I water it with my word, shining my light upon it until it grows into a towering testimony of my goodness. Let go of the guilt and comparisons that try to weigh you down. Your journey with me is uniquely tailored to your heart's design. I celebrate every step you take, every whisper of trust you speak into the silence. Relax your grip on perfection and cling instead to my perfect love, which casts out fear. Stand firm in faith, for my love never leaves you. Sometimes you feel as though you have more questions than answers, and that is perfectly all right. I welcome your curiosity, your doubts, and even your complaints, for I would rather you come to me with honest uncertainties than withdraw in silent confusion. Think of Moses, who questioned his ability to lead, or Thomas, who struggled to believe my resurrection until he touched the wounds. I met each of them with patience and evidence of my power, and I will meet you in the same way. I am not threatened by your uncertainties because my truth remains unshakable whether you comprehend it fully or not. So bring your questions to me in prayer. Open your Bible with expectancy and watch as my Spirit illuminates the words, revealing truth that quiets your restless mind. In time, you will see that even your lingering doubts can become doorways to deeper encounter. I bless you. Walk forward in peace. I know the loneliness that grips you when you feel that no one genuinely sees your heart, your desires, or your struggles. Let me be the companion you yearn for, the confidant who holds your secrets with tenderness, and the mentor who speaks words of life into your aspirations. I have said, I will never leave you nor forsake you, and that promise stands as firm as the foundation of the earth. You never need to fear abandonment, for my covenant with you is everlasting and sealed by my own truth. Even in the Gospel of John, I called you friend, revealing how I long to draw you close, not as a distant authority, but as an intimately caring presence in your everyday experiences. So share with me your joys and your tears, your breakthroughs and your missteps, and see that my response is always one of compassion and guidance. You are never alone. I am with you forever. You might feel uncertain about your future, as though you stand at a crossroads with no sign telling you which path to choose. Trust that I have already mapped out a way forward, and I delight in revealing it step by step, to keep your heart tethered to mine. When you read Revelation, see how I hold the end from the beginning, ensuring that my designs for hope and redemption prevail. I will not force you down a particular route, for I have granted you free will, but I stand ready to direct your paths when you humbly invite me to lead. Watch for small nudges, a verse that resonates with your soul, a door unexpectedly opened, a sense of peace that floods your heart over one choice and not another. These are not coincidences. They are my guiding markers, testifying that no detail of your life escapes my sight. Stand firm in faith, for my love never leaves you. There are days when your burdens feel like a mountain pressing on your chest, making it hard to breathe. In those moments, I ask that you remember how I parted the Red Sea for Moses and the Israelites, delivering them from an impossible situation. That same miracle-working power is available to you whenever you step out in trust, even if your knees are shaking. Do not allow your mind to dwell on how large the mountain seems, but focus instead on how infinite I am. If I can bring water from a rock, I can certainly bring you relief from the pressures you face. Let each exhale remind you that my spirit stands guard over your heart, fortifying you with supernatural courage. Even if the circumstances do not shift immediately, I promise to carry you through the storm until you stand victorious on the other side. I watch over you in every breath you take. When temptation prowls around you, trying to entice you toward harmful choices or slip you into old habits, call upon my name without hesitation. I do not condemn you for being tempted. I only ask that you flee from the trap and run straight into my arms of grace. Like Joseph in Genesis, who fled from Potiphar's wife, you also have the power to resist destructive influences by focusing on my holiness. These moments of temptation can actually become milestones of growth when you stand in my strength, proving to yourself and the adversary that you are a child of the light. I know every hidden wrestling in your heart, and I champion your victory over sin with unwavering loyalty, for I see who you are in me, pure, redeemed, and ever capable of rising above the murkiness of this world. You are never alone. I am with you forever. Prayer is not a ceremony of elaborate words or rigid formality. It is the open expression of your heart to mine. When you are overwhelmed, simply speak my name, and know that your cry pierces the very heavens, ushering in my attentive care. Remember how David poured out his soul in the Psalms with raw honesty, singing praises in one breath and lamenting in the next. I am big enough to handle all of your emotions, from the elation of gratitude to the depths of sadness. Pour them at my feet and watch how I transform your burdens into a channel of deeper connection with me. Prayer is a lifeline that anchors you to my presence, preventing you from drifting into the stormy seas of isolation. As you pray consistently, you'll find your perception shifting, your heart softening, and your spirit brimming with renewed faith. Stand firm in faith, for my love never leaves you. Never believe the lie that you have to earn my love or scramble for my acceptance. My grace is a free gift, open to all who turn toward me, just as the Father ran to welcome the prodigal son in the parable. No matter how far you feel you have wandered, one step back toward me sets off a celebration in heaven that resounds with joy and forgiveness. If shame or regret tries to weigh you down, remember that your identity rests in my redeeming promise, not in your past mishaps. I do not hold grudges or keep a ledger of your wrongs. Instead, I see the potential for goodness and greatness that I placed in you from the start, and I rejoice each time you move closer to that shining destiny. So do not worry, for I am opening a new door for you. When life's responsibilities pile high, leaving you breathless and fatigued, take a moment to abide in me. I recall how my son urged his disciples to abide in the vine, promising that such connection would bear abundant fruit. Sometimes it takes a pause, a step back from the incessant to-do lists, to truly experience my presence in a revitalizing way. I want you to flourish, not merely survive, so let me pour my wisdom into your decisions, my peace into your anxieties, and my joy into your routine tasks. A single quiet moment spent soaking in. My love can yield more progress than hours of frantic effort without my guidance. Believe that when you align your heart with mine, everything else finds its proper balance, enabling you to live in freedom rather than oppression. You are never alone. I am with you forever. I see your willingness to care for others, to share blessings with those in need, and to speak words of hope to the downcast. Yet, do not forget that you too need rest, encouragement, and the nourishment of my spirit. Even Jesus withdrew to lonely places to pray, acknowledging the importance of solitude with me before returning to serve the crowds. Let your giving flow from the overflow of my abundant love within you, rather than from a sense of duty or fear of not doing enough. When you take the time to replenish your soul in my presence, you become a more effective instrument of compassion. trust my gentle whisper when it prompts you to pause and breathe, reminding you that I never created you for unending hurry. In your stillness, my voice becomes clearer and your capacity to love grows. I watch over you in every breath you take. In seasons of delay, you might suspect that I am withholding good things from you or that I have forgotten your earnest requests. Let me assure you that delays can be preparations, not denials. Just as seeds must spend time hidden in the earth before sprouting, your prayers and desires may need a season of growth beneath the surface. Think of Abraham, who waited for the fulfillment of my promise, learning to trust my timing above his own. I arrange circumstances with perfect care, orchestrating your life so that when my answer arrives, it fits seamlessly into a broader tapestry of blessing. Do not lose heart if the days feel long. Use them as a chance to deepen your reliance on my faithful nature, letting your hope grow resilient. Rest in the knowledge that I see the big picture you cannot yet perceive, and my plan is always for your ultimate good. Stand firm in faith, for my love never leaves you. At times, you may wonder how to navigate relationships that test your patience or wound your heart, and I invite you to let me shape your responses through the lens of my grace. Even in the Gospel of John, I commanded you to love one another as I have loved you, a love that is not contingent upon personal convenience or easy personalities. When you find it hard to extend forgiveness, recall that I have forgiven you of every wrongdoing, casting your sins into the depths of the sea. Open your heart to my Holy Spirit, who will empower you to love beyond your natural capacity, bringing healing to even the most strained connections. Where bitterness or resentment once festered, I can plant seeds of reconciliation if you let me water them with my kindness. The transformation may be gradual, but keep your eyes on me, not on the offense. So do not worry, for I am opening a new door for you. I invite you to keep seeking my face, exploring the depths of Scripture, and letting my words penetrate the soil of your heart. Like the prophet Jeremiah, who proclaimed, "Your words were found, and I ate them," you too can find nourishment in my promises, discovering that they are sweeter than honey and capable of fortifying you against life's hardships. Let the stories of creation, Exodus, resurrection, and Revelation stir your imagination, revealing the scope of my unfailing love for humanity. Whether you read about my covenants with Abraham or my triumph over the grave in the Gospels, let each account remind you that I remain the same yesterday, today, and forever. I do not change, therefore neither do my intentions of grace toward you. Immerse yourself in my word and watch how it breathes life into your daily decisions, your attitudes, and your longings. You are never alone. I am with you forever. Look toward the horizon of your future with anticipation, for I have declared that I make all things new. Even your imperfections, your heartbreaks, and your disappointments will find themselves reworked into a masterpiece of redemption under my hand. Picture a potter molding clay, shaping it patiently into something beautiful, even if it first appears misshapen. That is how I treat your life, carefully, lovingly, with artistry that surpasses your highest hopes. No experience is wasted when surrendered to my purpose. I weave every thread into the larger garment of your testimony. Let your spirit embrace the promise found in the book of Revelation, where I promise to wipe away every tear and vanquish every sorrow. This is not just a far-off pledge for some distant era. It begins now, as my healing presence touches every corner of your reality. I watch over you in every breath you take. Therefore, in each new dawn, whether the skies are clear or filled with storm clouds, remember that my goodness stands unshaken, calling you to trust me with every joy and every concern. If anxiety stirs within you, let my perfect love cast out that fear, reminding you that I am bigger than any challenge you face. Think of David facing Goliath or Esther standing before a king, and draw courage from their testimonies, which highlight my unwavering support for those who rely on me wholeheartedly. Your heart may pound, but rest assured, I am the strength behind your every heartbeat. Bask in my presence as the day unfolds, confident that no event or difficulty is outside my caring oversight. And if you stumble, do not be ashamed to reach for me, for my hand is always extended to lift you back up. I bless you. Walk forward in peace. Set your gaze ahead with bright anticipation, for each new day heralds fresh mercies and a deeper revelation of my goodness. Look beyond the hills of adversity to see the promise of a sunrise you have yet to witness. I delight in surprising you with tokens of my affection, a timely word from a friend, an unexpected provision, a sense of serenity that envelops you when you least expect it. As you look forward, recall that the very best is yet to emerge, like a hidden treasure waiting to be uncovered at the perfect moment. Take heart and keep walking, for I am with you every step. And so, dear child, let peace wash over your anxieties. Let hope displace every ounce of dread, and let the knowledge of my unconditional love embolden you to face each day with courage. I have heard your cries and answered with comfort. I have seen your tears and responded with mercy, and I have witnessed your struggles and intervened with grace. Know that you are never alone, for I am always with you, enveloping you in my infinite love that knows no bounds. Take these words as a gentle lullaby for your soul, a sacred promise that I, the Lord of all creation, have chosen you as my beloved and will guide you through the night into the brilliance of tomorrow. Take these truths into every corner of your life, trusting my gentle whisper when the world grows loud, leaning into my embrace when your burdens grow heavy, and walking forward in faith even when the path seems unclear. My love stands as your shelter, and my word is a lamp illuminating your journey. Claim this heritage with full confidence. You are my cherished child, forever secure in the palm of my hand. Today, walk in that assurance, and tomorrow greet each sunrise with a heart that knows the gentle whisper of my voice will never fade, for my devotion endures from everlasting to everlasting. Amen, my precious one. I am here, watching over you, ready to usher you into the fulfillment of all the blessings I have promised. Listen for my whisper, trust in my power, and let your soul find rest in the knowledge that I will carry you through every season. You are loved, you are chosen, and I have set my affection upon you without condition. Embrace this reality and step boldly into the future that awaits you with joy, peace, and a resolute belief that my goodness shall follow you all the days of your life.